Hey guys, Shadowz here, welcome back to another Gears of War video. Today we're going to be discussing a Gears of War collection being developed but not by the Coalition studio. The original Gears of War trilogy will forever go down in video game history as one of the greatest narrative gameplay driven series of games, with a cinematic story, emotional in-depth characters, a unique variety of enemies and arsenal of weapons, to the hardcore multiplayer and co-op focused PvE in games that were definitely ahead of their time and redefining video games for a generation. Ever since the announcement of the Halo the Master Chief collection at E3 2014, I've been asking for a Gears of War collection now, with videos and videos over the last 9 years, as Gears fans and Xbox gamers alike have continued to speak up about the desire for a Gears collection, and with rumours continuing to make rounds over the last few years or so, it looks like it's possibly going to finally happen, but not as exactly as you may think. Special Nick from the Xbox Era podcast, responsible for dropping hints and teasing the potential behind the Gears of War collection all throughout 2022 and even into this year, strongly believes a Gears collection does exist and is happening. So I wanted to summarize all of the Xbox Era podcast clips that do mention the Gears collection up to this point so far, and any further details that I think you guys will definitely want to know, as seen in the following.
I'm annoyed I can't go into more detail, but I get why. So I've been told, the rumor I've heard, what I've been told is that there is another Microsoft franchise. I'm not allowed to say the franchise. There is another Microsoft franchise that will be getting like the Master Chief Collection treatment.
Oh,
is probably the best way to describe it.
yeah.
That's now timelines. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's a thing that's going to be this year, next year, or whatever it is. Probably most likely, I would guess next year. But I don't know timelines right now. Just that there will be another franchise, another Microsoft franchise, getting that Master Chief Collection treatment. Collection of all the games,
One
all
UI.
done up. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, all bundled into one. All that.
Did
sort
they
of
not
thing, yeah.
learn from their mistakes?
Well, you could argue that now that they've got the Master Chief Collection right, they now know.
Fair.
Maybe that's why it's been so long, because Master Chief Collection was 2014. I want to say,
yeah,
is that right?
2014.
2014. Yeah, that's what I've been told. I've been told that there's another Microsoft franchise that will be getting that Master Chief Collection style treatment.
Well, now the chat is discussing this, and I have to admit, when I think of
They were the guesses I was expecting from everyone. They were the
Yeah.
guesses. Like when my source told me, I'm like, you know that everyone's just going to guess Fable and
there
Gears.
can only really be
They're all
two.
just going to say Fable and Gears. Remember, there was a rumor mill a while back where I said that there is another Microsoft franchise that's getting the Master Chief Collection type treatment.
Oh, yeah.
I am of the belief that that is coming this year.
Yeah.
So that could be an E3. Or, so I keep saying E3. It's just easier to say E3 because they do it at E3 time.
Say E3. All these people
I know.
say
E3.
that we can't call it E3. I said, too bad. I'm calling it E3.
Yeah,
That's
it's
when
just easier to
Xbox
call it-
owns the E3 season with Jeff
Like
Keighley.
that, like they do it. Even when E3 was a thing, Microsoft always did it. On the 12th, maybe it'll be their E3 announcement. That collection from a Microsoft franchise. I mean, everyone's guessed it. I'm still not going to say it, but everyone's guessed it. What makes me laugh though is that if you go from November 2021 to November 2022 and you look at Microsoft's big output, it could wind up being Halo Gears Full.
Don't say it. Halo Gears and Forza. That's the crap I took, because I that's the stuff I took a lot of heat for that. I said that ever since this gen has started, it's been Gears Tactics, Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, Gears Collection, and Forza Motorsport. Halo, Gears, and Forza.
I mentioned about a franchise that is supposed to be getting the Master Chief type treatment, which is Gears. I mean, everyone was guessing Gears or Fable. It was going to be one of those two.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the info. I haven't been told, because I've seen a lot of people that have sort of spun this as if I've said it was coming at E3. I never said when it was being announced or when it's releasing. All I said was that it's supposed to be in the works.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see it at E3. I don't know if it's due in 2022. I have no idea.
I mean, it makes sense to me that this is going to be kind of like a running experience to get all the development team. I know they've been working with Unreal 5, right? If they were going to do this, I mean, one would presume it would make sense that they take all of the finished games, they port them over to Unreal 5, they put a load of bells and whistles in, and package them up in whatever format they feel is best, right? I mean, that's what makes sense to me. But we don't know what's happening. We just hear that there's a collection of those titles coming. That's it.
I'm
just checking.
I know. I'm wondering what I'm supposed to say here. That's all. Because I already got in a little bit of trouble for even mentioning Gears at all, so I don't want to then mention something else and get in more trouble. I guess all I'll say is that in terms of what this is supposed to be, don't expect it to be just a packaging up of like the 360 titles.
Yeah, that would make sense.
The BC titles that we already have out there.
Yeah.
Just being bundled together and sold. That's not what this is meant to be, as far as I know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've just seen some commentary out there that seems to allude to that fact, that it's like, why would they do that? The games are there. Like to me, like the first thing I said when I was told about this, Gears Collection, the first thing I said was, why? I'm like, why? That makes no sense to me. Gears 1 Ultimate Edition exists. Gears 2 and 3 are BC and enhanced and look amazing. So why this seems like an odd thing to do. So without me saying what I was told, what's the next logical conclusion you can come to? If the plan is to go ahead with this Gears collection, I've seen people name it the Marcus Phoenix collection again, because I don't want people then saying, Nick said it's called the Marcus Phoenix collection. I did not say that. I don't know what the name of it is. There's a lot I don't know about it. But whatever this thing is, logically, why would they just resell and repackage BC games and call it a collection?
That seems counterproductive, especially with Game Pass a thing, and just how strong and consistent Microsoft has been with just like backwards compatibility support. It just seems so weird that if this was the thing, they'll be like, that makes no sense.
Yeah. Like, what would the next logical step be?
That's all
I'm going to say.
I presume that this release would also come to PC Game Pass, and Gears 2 and 3 have never had a PC.
Gears 2 and 3, they're not on PC. So it's a way to bring all of them to PC in a nice, neat package. My assumption would be they do something similar to the Master Chief Collection with the multiplayer.
Yeah.
That would be the assumption too. They'd probably have some all-encompassing multiplayer with that as well, and have everyone in one spot like they've done with the Master Chief Collection. Are we going to talk about the stuff that's been discussed? What Tom Henderson has talked about, Jez,
little Tommy
Rand.
boy, little Tom
Because
Henderson.
I'm getting a lot of stuff in the chat. I'm getting DMs about Gears Collection.
I mean, I've talked to Jez and Rand. The reality is, no one has the list. No one does. Not even Tom. Tom is talking about things that he knows are not going to be there. But I don't.
Well, let's talk about Gears Collection first.
Let's talk about the Gears Collection. So, Jesse, I prepared a video with Jesse.
Oh,
because I'm tired of stuff I say being I'm tired of stuff that I say being conflated and turned into other things that I didn't say. So, at first it became Gears Collections being announced at the showcase, which is not true at all. I never said that, not once. That is something that people assumed. But since then, a few people think the Gears Collection's not a real thing.
That's
now,
true.
As in,
we've read it
at all. Not just not at the showcase. Apparently not at all. So, for those that are worried about the Gears Collection, most of you should know me well enough to know that I don't back down. And I'm not going to back down on the Gears Collection. I have gone back and asked a couple of sources who are like, yep, Gears Collection's still a thing. So I'm not backing down on Gears Collection.
Ooh.
I'm going to hold my ground on that one. You all know me well enough to know that I don't back down.
You'll die on the hill.
I am of the Jean-Claude Van Damme era. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's first movie is No Retreat, No Surrender. So I will live by JCVD's motto. I will not retreat and I will not surrender.
All
Gears
right.
Collection's still a thing. If Jez and
You
Rand
never called it the Marcus Phoenix collection.
No, I
either.
never gave it a name.
Okay,
Thank you,
I
editing's
think that was fairly cut and dry. Don't know if it's going to be this year.
I said, if anything, it's most likely next year. And the other
But you
thing
called
is that there's another assumption people are making. And that assumption is that the coalition are doing it. I don't know if the coalition are doing the Gears collection. There's a chance that's being outsourced.
Interesting.
So that could be why certain people haven't heard about the Gears collection. I never said that the Gears collection was, or at the time I said a franchise was
That's true.
being given the Master Chief collection. I did get in trouble for saying Gears later on, I will say. I did genuinely get in trouble for that, which I have had to patch over since then. But yes, I have asked, because I've seen a lot of speculation saying, oh, these people are saying that the Gears collection's not real. I've gone back, not backing down. Respect Nick for keeping Gears collection faith.
There's a war out there, mate. Someone's going to win it.
I'm not backing down. You guys, you know me. Everyone knows me. I'm not going to back down.
Okay,
Like,
okay,
unless
hold
someone-
on. We're gonna make this interesting. You don't get to just say that a Gears collection is coming someday. You got to tell me what year it's coming now.
Hold on, coming or being announced?
Coming. What year is
I
it
don't know about coming. I don't know about coming. I've got no idea. I said it's most likely next year.
Okay.
As you saw from the clip I played, I expect it most likely next year. The resistance is coming in the form of it doesn't exist at all.
Yeah.
So the announce is what matters more than the release. Even if it releases in 2026, but it's announced in 2023, it still exists, doesn't it?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So
That's fair.
The resistance is in the form of its existence, not in when it's releasing. So
Okay.
I'm happy to concede if it's not announced by next year. More than happy to concede if it's not announced by next year.
But he has the faith.
As in-
He's on the hill.
Sometime
Yes.
at the latest, sometime in 2023.
A long time ago, Nick, there was a rumor that everyone ran away with, and you said and kind of implied that you said it was coming like this year, and you were like, "No, I just said it's
Yeah,
coming," and it was a collection. It was a collection of venerable coalition / Unreal Engine powered games called Gears of War.
I got in trouble for saying Gears collection in the end, but yes, I eventually alluded to the fact that it was a Gears collection.
Yes.
Turns out, though, a different kind
A
of Gears
different
collection
collection.
came along.
So Gears of War card collection, apparently rumored from 2 years ago, or was
Yeah, it was like
announced?
2 years ago. There was mentioned of a Gears of War card game.
Wow.
And I guess there it is.
You
What?
still believe there's an actual Gears games collection coming still?
There is. There is. I don't care what Rand says. I don't care what Jez says. I don't care what any of them say. This is the problem. Like I said, I got in trouble for mentioning Gears because it was so early. That's why when that rumor mill first happened, I was only supposed to say an Xbox franchise, another one is going to get that Master Chief style treatment because it was so early on.
Yeah.
And then I stupidly had a moment of weakness in a later episode and was like, ha ha ha, Gears. Which I should not have done because it was way too early for me to say anything. Like I said, in 3 years, that was the one and only time I got in trouble with the source. The one and only single time.
They were not happy. They were not happy bunny
No,
rabbits.
they were not. They still mention it to this day. They were like, you said that too early. They still say it to this day.
Slapped wrist.
But
Yeah.
yes, I'm not backing down. I don't care what Jez and Rand say. I'm not backing down.
Oh,
Still happening.
doubtful.
No, the treatment, no, Emil, the treatment was not about a card game. The card game and my thing are two unrelated things.
Yeah.
My thing is still happening. This card game is something else altogether.
I mean, everyone guessed Gears anyway, right? But whatever.
Yes, pretty much everyone guessed Gears. Thinking Gears collection might actually exist. Think we are going to get it finally this year? Well, I watched Xbox 2.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, I did. I got up. I happened to be awake, and I was like,
I got up for it.
I jumped on Twitter like I do, lying in bed, and then I saw the tweet from Rand saying, "We're live," and I'm like, "Hey, I'll jump in there." And I saw their thumbnail talk about Gears collection. I'm like, hey, let's jump in there, shall we? So I went in the chat, and I put in a super chat saying, "Don't talk about Gears, guys. Why would you talk about a game that doesn't exist?" And they were sort of going, "Oh, well, hold on, look, maybe Gears exists. The Gears collection exists." I have apologized profusely to my source so many times because I leaked it way too early. But look, there are certain things I can't say, private conversations with Rand and Jez, and I can't say certain things, but because people will get in trouble, so I can't say them. But don't worry, Jez and Rand are well aware now that the Gears collection exists. And outside of Jez and Rand, there might be some other apologies that should come my way, because I have been on the receiving end of some interesting dog piles from other Xbox podcasts too, that I make stuff up and Gears collection's not real. And again, I'm not sure. I thought we were going to hear about it last year, and we didn't. Actually, you know what? There's only one person that had my back about Gears collection, Tom Warren. Because Tom Warren knew about it as well. Tom Warren has always had my back about the Gears collection because he had heard about it too. And he has always, anytime I've mentioned it on Twitter, he replies going, "Oh, Gears, Gears, Gears." Tom has known about it too. So now when we're going to hear about it, I don't know. I thought it was going to be last year that we'd hear about it. So my assumption will now move to 2023. When it doesn't get announced this year, I'll say 2024. I don't know. I haven't been told when we will hear about it. I'm just taking a stab at this year. It's just because, it's starting to get talked about more. They need to announce more stuff because people keep talking about how they have no games. That's all I'm going to say. There are other things I know about the Gears collection that I am not allowed to say, and I'm not going to get in trouble for a second time from this source about it. If the time comes that they say, okay, say what it is, say who's developing it, say, then I will say. Until then, just understand that it exists.
One of the most important points that Special Nick made was that the Gears of War collection itself may not be in development at the Coalition studio, but instead possibly being outsourced and developed by a different gaming company out there, whether that's another internal Xbox game studio or a third party. Gears Tactics, a turn-based strategy game that was released originally on PC in 2020 and then Xbox consoles later on, was also outsourced, being developed by London-based Splash Damage in conjunction with the Coalition studio, while they did focus on Gears 5, meaning the same thing could happen once again with a Gears collection being outsourced, with TC fully focusing on developing Gears 6 for next-gen only inside Unreal Engine 5. What's very interesting about the idea that a different developer could be working on a Gears of War collection is that recently a random Twitter account called Oopsie Leaks did share something very similar that possibly provides a secondary perspective to support the Gears collection existing, with the tweet reading as the following. Also heard about plans on Gears collection within Saber and MS, but now that's impossible since Saber is a Russian-based company. Of course, because of the genocide or inhumane actions happening today. As always with these kind of anonymous based account tweets out there, always take it with a grain of salt, just because researching it further Saber Interactive was originated in Russia, however did get acquired by Embracer Group, therefore making this studio become an American-based video game developer with a HQ based in Florida, USA. Saber Interactive also has a huge history in working with Microsoft and Xbox when developing a remix or a collection by working alongside a 343 Industries on both the remake of Halo Combat Evolved on the Xbox 360, but most importantly for this video, also assisting 343 in the development and support for Halo the Master Chief Collection. If the Coalition Studio has been working with the Unreal Engine 5 for a few years now, learning its toolsets and features by importing the original Gears of War trilogy over to UE5, and overseeing development at a studio like Saber Interactive before likely recently going into full-on production of Gear 6. That would make a lot of sense to me personally to explain what TC have been up to over the last few years and also just explain the silence. Please make sure to leave me a comment down below telling me what you think. What is your guys' opinion on the latest Gears of War collection rumors, and do you think a Gears collection should be next? For me personally, after creating Gears of War content now for over 10 years, I have learned a lot about this franchise, and one of the main things that I have noticed is that there always is some kind of Gears of War rumors out there, and I've learned to not believe everything that I hear and see on the internet and just wait for either official or visual physical sources before getting hyped about any type of Gears rumors. Despite Xbox not being a part of the official E3 2023 Expo, just like every year previously in the recent years, Microsoft will be hosting their very own Xbox conference show during the E3 week, where they will be live streaming from the Microsoft Theater all of the latest gaming news, trailers and announcements in June, which of course could finally very well include the Gears of War announcements that we're all expecting. So there you have it guys, full details on the Gears of War collection rumors and it possibly being developed but not by the Coalition Studio. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe if you already. Thank you guys for watching, and as always I shall see you in the next one.